Suzanne Morphew's body was just recently found. For those of you that don't know who that is, she is a mother of two from Colorado who went missing under very suspicious circumstances on Mother's Day 3 years ago. Her husband, Barry, was actually arrested for her murder. The case went forward a little bit, but her body was never found. There were so many mysterious circumstances and lies and evidence against Barry, but without a body, it became virtually impossible to convict. So he was released without prejudice, meaning he can be rearrested. Well, now that we have her body, will it be enough to rearrest him? Or is it somebody else completely? Let me give you my thoughts. I think there are some major things that happened early on that caused me to have huge suspicion for Barry, aside from the lies and the evidence that has been documented. Now that Suzanne's body has been found, will it contain enough evidence to rearrest her husband, Barry Morphew? There are some major things that happened early on that caused me to have huge suspicion for Barry, aside from the lies and the evidence that has been documented with a fine tooth comb on many channels and many shows. I want to talk about something completely different, and that is the psychology behind the children of a murdered parent who, even though there's a lot of evidence otherwise, continue to stand behind their father or their parent, in this case, father, even though all the evidence points directly at their parent.
What is That's what innocence looks like right there.
What happens to a child that obviously loves the parent who is missing, and yet they will look past evidence? Even some of the texts that were put into evidence that were from Suzanne that point a very bad finger towards the possibility that she was murdered by her husband. There's so many things between the tranquilizer gun, the fact that Barry went to a hotel with shovels, not to mention the injuries on him. There's just so much. And so this isn't what I want to talk about. There is a lot of evidence. But the question is, with all that evidence, wouldn't you as a daughter be thinking to yourself, what if? Like, why is there all this evidence? What if it really was Barry? I think it's just so hard to already think that your mom is missing. At the time, the girls are saying that they think that she left their dad. It's interesting that Suzanne's brother came and did a huge search for his sister, and Barry and his daughters did not help with the search. They would talk about how we need to find her, but it's almost as if Barry convinced the daughters that their mother just left them. Don't even think about the fact that she didn't take her car, she didn't take her money, she didn't take her purse. She just threw her bike off and then left them, apparently. But somehow they don't look at their dad as a suspect, even though all evidence is pointing like a red neon sign to the other parent. It happens quite a bit. So it's interesting. It's not something that is rare, actually. And I realized a lot of times the idea that your parent is dead, murdered, and that they were murdered by another parent is so amazingly hard to wrap your brain around, that the easier answer is to deny and to surround the surviving parent and trust them and believe them. And my gut instinct is telling me this is what's happening with Barry Morphew and his daughters. They want so much for it to not be true, even to the point that they would lie for Barry. Now, what lie am I talking about? Well, Suzanne Morphew in text messages said that her daughter was worried about her and wanted her to leave her dad. And now she denies that. She claims that she didn't know there was anything wrong with her mom and dad's marriage. Yet on that Mother's Day morning, one of the daughters called her boyfriend and asked him to go check on her mother because she was worried about her. And this body cam footage shows exactly what the daughter was thinking at the time, at least according to her boyfriend.
So you haven't seen the mom at all, have you?
Yep, so the two daughters are gone right now at the moment. The dad is in Denver for a job, and they text her because of Mother's Day, and they haven't heard. The text never went through, like it never delivered since this morning. And she's a big mountain biker. She normally takes her car, and her bike's normally in the back of that. It's gone.
Was this open when you came here?
The neighbor was here that opened it, and then she shut it, and she went back to her house. Her house is right over there.
Okay.
And then I came back and I opened it to come in the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you looked in the house for
I
her?
have, yep.
All right. You looked through everything?
Yes.
You haven't found her?
No.
Okay. All right. What time did you get here?
6 o'clock, and then I went all the way up Fusis, because she's road up there. And I just drove the main road, couldn't find her, and then there's a couple spots that I could check, like trails and stuff. But I wanted to come back here to just, like, check back in and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has she ever gone up 225?
Colorado Trail right there?
Like, you know the big hill once you come
Yeah.
off the highway?
Well, she hasn't, and I haven't checked there yet because that climb at the beginning is really hard.
Yeah.
And I think that it would be out of characteristic for her to do that. But I mean, someone needs to go there, I think.
Why would you say it was, like, on camera?
Well, because it's kind of a crazy...
Okay.
It's kind of a crazy climb to get up there.
All
It's
right.
like not really rideable. You got to push your bike before you can start riding.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have a driver's license on you?
Yeah. It's in my truck, and here's my dad pulling up.
That's your dad?
That's my dad right there.
Okay. S211.
Good.
Alright, so this is one of the daughter's boyfriend, and he's saying it'd be out of ordinary for her to travel up that way where we found the bike.
Wait, where did they find her bike?
The bike's leaning up against the sheriff's vehicle.
Yeah.
Do we know what she was wearing in reference to the jacket?
Do you know what she usually wears when she goes riding?
She has a couple different sets of clothing in terms of what she wears riding, so I'm not sure exactly what she put on today.
Okay, what are some of the outfits she wears?
Blue shorts, like turquoise blue shorts.
Can you pull her up on Instagram in one of her mountain
She has a
biking
blue
pictures?
helmet, which she always wears.
Okay.
Like turquoise blue helmet.
You guys have her bike though,
Yeah, we do.
but not her.
Not her.
Okay.
Where'd you find her bike?
Off of that road that I was asking you about.
Oh,
where you said it was
in
uncharacteristic.
Chavano.
Just right out here on the road.
Right out there, okay.
Right where you found.
Where
you saw it.
that road takes off up the.
That's her
Does she
helmet.
wear any jackets?
She probably would have had,
What kind of jackets does she wear?
I mean, a windbreaker.
A windbreaker?
I don't know what color.
I saw her,
I mean, we don't even know what time she left today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they have cameras.
they have cameras, but they've been out of commission for a while.
Hey, 11, can
Okay.
you get a list of some of the
So her
trails that
bike
she
was close to the
frequents?
road.
That way, if we get search and rescue out here, they can focus on those.
Yeah, I'm working on that right now.
It's good.
What were some of the other trails you said? She rides up Booses and
Yep, she rides up Fusis. Normally when she takes her car, she goes down to, what's that road called? That's right down at the goes up to North
Chaffee
Fork
County.
Lake.
Okay, what about around here? Since she didn't take her car, she clearly
Okay,
left from
so
here.
she would have gone up through Suzette, I assume, or to the
No,
Colorado
across,
Trail.
if you go straight across the
There's
highway,
that
the
trail.
Colorado Trail's
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
So you can go up that ridge there,
Yeah.
and that gets on the Colorado.
And did you just let him know about it? Do you live in the area?
No, he dates her.
Right.
Or, yeah,
so he called you and let you
Well,
know?
we were talking to their daughters on a road trip. We were talking to them down in town.
Okay.
And then I said, yeah, why don't you run up there and see if you can't find her.
Yeah.
And so then once he'd been gone a while, I drove up here.
I know this is a weird question, but do Barry and Suzanne get along pretty well?
You can answer honestly.
You know, I think they've had some problems.
Okay.
Yeah, in the past.
Like, just normal?
Normal husband and wife type deal. I would
They
say.
like talk about separating or anything
They
like
have, yeah.
that? Okay.
I would, yeah.
And you know this through...
Through
Macy.
Yeah, I'm very
Macy.
close with her.
Yeah, it's
her daughter.
important that you, at this
I know,
point,
I
you
know,
tell
I
him
know.
anything that
Yeah.
you know like that.
Yeah, and he is in Denver for a work job. He's a landscaper, and he's got a big job in Denver. So that's where he is at right now.
Okay.
And Macy and the older sister Mallory are on a road trip.
This body cam footage tells a lot. First of all, the daughters knew there was trouble in the marriage. Secondly, these people look genuinely interested in finding the truth and finding Suzanne. Cannot say the same for Barry later on that evening. So at least in the beginning, the girls seemed like they really truly were worried about their mother and wanted to find out where she was. Well, Suzanne Morphew in text messages said that her daughter was worried about her and wanted her to leave her dad. And now she denies that. She claims that she didn't know there was anything wrong with her mom and dad's marriage. I find that really hard to believe. The second thing that comes to my mind is the fact that there were so many things that had to align for Suzanne to be alone that Mother's Day morning. And it was rather convenient that Barry's kids were gone on a camping trip, the two girls. I mean, I've never heard of a church camping trip over Mother's Day. Who am I to say? But the fact that they conveniently were gone, and then Barry conveniently went to work early that morning on a job site that was not planned in advance, and even the job site he was going to, what it required paperwork to even be able to do that kind of work because of the noise that it caused, and he didn't have that paperwork. He didn't really plan on working that day, among other things. There are so many things that make me say, Barry, I have a feeling your gig is just about up. I believe that with the body of Suzanne Morphew, they will be able to find the final pieces of evidence that they need in order to finally bring justice for Suzanne Morphew. Even if there is no evidence on her body that's obviously been out for over 3 years, just the fact that they can now prove that she is in fact dead. Barry can no longer say, oh, she just left me and the girls because she was having an affair or whatever. Now we know beyond a reasonable doubt she is in fact dead. What do you think? Do you think that Barry Morphew is the person behind missing Suzanne? Or do you think that we are all barking up the wrong tree? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you soon. See ya.